Hi y'all, this video is introducing systems of equations. We're going to be on this topic for quite a number of days, so this might be a video that you need to watch more than once. Remember, these are your notes, so you should be following along with me, copying these down and pausing it and rewatching it if you get stuck. Also be sure to ask me questions about this video when you come to class. Alright, so a system of equations is basically when we want to analyze two lines at the same time. So in this first example, I have the line y is equal to x plus 3, and that's in pink. And the other line is y equals negative x plus 5, and I sketched that in green. So the solution is the point where they intersect. So if you have access to Desmos, it's easy to graph them and find where they intersect. Keep in mind you have an EOC this year, and for the majority of your EOC you have Desmos, but a lot of the questions that are going to ask you to solve a system of equations are on the calculator inactive part. So Desmos will be a great way to check your answer, but we have to learn how to do these by hand. So let's understand why the point 1,4 is a solution. That will help us to keep in mind what we're solving for. So the point 1,4 is a solution because when I plug the point 1,4 in, it works for both equations. So I'll show you what I mean, but let's answer the question. Why is 1,4 a solution? Because when x equals 1 and y equals 4, both equations are true. So a solution is any point that you can plug in and it makes the equation true. So I'll show you with y equals x plus 3, and that's my pinkish line on the graph, so I'll do this one in pink. When I plug 4 in for y and 1 in for x, that is true. 4 is equal to 1 plus 3. So the point 4,1 checks when I plug 1 in for x and 4 in for y. So that checks out for the pink line. And for the green, negative x plus 5. When I plug 4 in for the y and 1 in for x, so that would be negative 1. That checks also because negative 1 plus 5 is 4. So when you're finding a solution, that's what you're doing. You're finding the point that when you plug in for x and y, it makes both of the lines true. So let's look at this example. Which one of the following points is a solution to that systems? So we're looking for the point that when I plug in for the x and y, for both of them, it comes out to be true. So let's test A. A wants me to plug in 2 for x and 1 for y. So let's check the first one. If I do 2 times 2 plus 1, does that equal negative 3? Is that true? Does 4 plus 1 equal negative 3? That is a no. 4 plus 1 is 5. So 5 does not equal negative 3. So as soon as we figure out that it doesn't work for one of the lines, it can't be a solution. Because by definition, a solution has to work for both of them. So A is out. It's not A. All right, B wants me to use the point negative 2, 1. So that means the x is negative 2 and the y is 1. So let's check that first line again with these two new numbers. So when I plug in negative 2 for x and 1 for y, we're going to check and see if this works out. So negative 4 plus 1, negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So far B is checking out. So far B is working. Let's try and make sure it's only going to be considered a solution if it also works when I plug it in for the second line. So I want to replace the y with 1 and the x with negative 2. And see if this is true. So is negative 2 plus 3 1? It is. So because B is making both of the equations true when I plug those in for x and y, that is the solution to the systems. So the first IXL that we're going to do is basically this concept. So before you do the IXL, you might want to come back and watch up to this point. All right, the rest of the examples are how to get the solution. Not just to check and see if it is a solution, but how to get the solutions. All right, so one of the methods is called substitution. Substitution is great if your equations already say y equals or x equals. Substitution is less great if both of your equations are in standard form. So these are both good setups for substitution because in the first example, I already have a y equals. Even though this one is in standard form, that's okay. I already have a y equals. And in this one, it's great because they both say y equals. So substitution, when you already know what one of them is, they just did half of the problem for you. They told you to plug in 5 wherever you see a y. So in the second equation, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Wherever I had y, I'm going to plug in 5. So I'm going to multiply. And from here, we're just solving a regular equation. So this happens to just be a little two-step equation. So I'm going to add 15 to both sides. So x is equal to 4.